3, 2, 1, go. And they're off.
What? I've never been hit by that drop in my life.
Nice.
Good hit already. The first
bodes well.
drop. I guess that's
my life.
Alright, so what's happening within the match here is 3 players have 30 minutes to do as many attempts, to make as many attempts as they can of this game. What they're doing, they're not playing the full game, they're just playing, I think, 3 levels of it for this goal.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. And they can reset as often as they like. You'll see splits at the top of their screen there as they beat each of the levels. As each player finishes a run, they will upload it to us. It'll automatically get uploaded to our... they will upload to our server, and our timing referee, Arkhanno, will check out each of the input recordings and get the exact timing down to the frame. So we'll know exactly how everyone's doing.
Got my stopwatch here, counts frames, counts
right.
for lag frames, we're all set.
That's right, the magical run timing stopwatch. Yeah. And as each player gets a time, it'll be written in this box on the left. Will be all the official times. Anyway, at the end of the 30 minutes, the player with the fastest run wins the match.
Oh wow. That guy really got me.
Yeah, we're penguins. Whatever you are.
Well, I hadn't ever heard of this game until we had it selected for the game this week. From what I've seen of it, it's a pretty interesting platformer, but I don't know too much about the speedrun aspects of it.
Well, there's not a lot of speedrun work that's been done on it. The TAS is pretty good. I mean, the TAS is definitely... someone put a lot of effort into it, and there's... you know, some of the things the TAS does, the players can do, but there's one glitch in particular that is banned in this goal. There's like a wall jumping glitch. Like a lot of wall jumping glitches, you know, you jump into a wall and there'll be a certain frame that you can jump on and it'll let you jump again. So you can jump repeatedly up a wall. It is something that you can do in real time, but I think adding that to the goal would just make players be reliant on it and have to reset when they can't get it, so it might be a little frustrating. So they're going to do this sort of a natural way. Yeah, other than that, I don't really know much about, you know, any of the speedrun tech.
Well, I mean, the game's mechanics themselves might be worth going over. Like, he has a DuckTales style pogo jump on his tail. It's the only way to hurt enemies and most bosses. Well, I mean, unless Peck can just eat them, there's that. But
So Peck is your life. You can take 2 hits. If you have Peck, and you get hit, he goes away. And then if you don't have Peck, you get hit, you die. Which means your attacking abilities are dependent on whether or not you've been hit, which is an interesting mechanic in itself.
Right, and now Peck, you can also... Peck is the little guy, the little penguin guy. Is he supposed to be a penguin, I guess?
That's what I've
yeah,
been able to ascertain.
Some sort of little bird. Okay. But yeah, he follows you around, and you can actually pick him up and throw him at stuff, right? There are a few things that he does.
yeah, he eats things, and if you throw him at objects, he will grab them for you and avoid the slow object grab animation.
So yeah, you definitely, you know, even though he is there as your backup health, I guess, in the speed run, you want to make sure you don't lose him.
There are a couple spots where the damage boost is worth it.
It's worth doing it.
Particularly in the pyramid, there's you can squeeze between a block and some spikes to sort of, you know, skip a cycle. I don't know if our players have deemed that a worthwhile risk.
At the very end of the pyramid stage is a section with falling spikes that have hitboxes at least 8 times their size.
Yeah.
And So my strategy is basically I require Peck in order to not damage boost, but just damage my way through that section, so I don't take the hit to try to maintain my Peck heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those spots where the tool-assisted run just glides through without stopping. But the jump it makes is incredibly precise. You can do something similar where you kind of pause for a little bit and then, do one jump and maybe that's viable, but following exactly as it does is probably not within our abilities.
I can't even figure out what the intended route through that section is other than to take a hit.
Yeah, there's one spot where the first one that is not in line with the others. You can pause there for a second, I found, and then start running again, and if you time it just right.
Yeah, but it's so narrow.
It is narrow,
I
yes.
hate to say that that's the intended solution.
Well, who knows? They make you jump on all those arrows in level 13, so...
There is that.
It's worth pointing out if you get rid of those green penguin-looking dudes with the torches, the level gets dimmer. So it's not any slower, but it can be harder to navigate.
There's actually 2 levels of dimness, depending on whether you go one or both. Oh, this is bad.
And I like the pogo mechanic because you can actually sort of charge it up as long as you're holding the button as you land. He'll just sit there on the tail bouncing. You can even like shimmy left and right a little bit, and when you're not going so fast, it's it's not bad to sort of shimmy up right up to the edge and then get a big jump. But it's pretty slow, so we're probably going to be seeing a lot more risky jumps.
Yeah, the pogo mechanic is nicely done, although it's interesting because the way you activate it is you hold your jump button after you jump. But if you're jumping forward, you won't actually pogo. It won't deploy.
Wait, to let off forward?
I don't think it's whether you're holding forward, it's like how forward your jump actually is. It's like how much distance your jump would cover is the best I've been able to figure. But
it's also because you can hold down the button and charge it up, and then you actually only jump when you let go. It means that you're losing frames every time you're holding that button down. So tiny little optimizations on pretty much every pogo jump that can add up easily to a second or two.
Yes, got the mouse. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's another tool-assisted strategy that it turns out humans can actually do. If you do some clever jumps along the top of the screen, you can grab the emerald before the mouse even grabs it, and avoids this comical section where you're running around trying to grab it as he... Yeah.
Humans can do that? I tried.
They can.
Yep.
It's not easy, for sure. It's like 2 or 3 pretty precise jumps. But it is doable. And Blecky in chat has also hit on a very important speedrun mechanic, is sort of preserving your running speed.
Yes.
There is no run button. He just starts running after you've been walking in one direction for a while. So, and it can even happen in midair. So sometimes your movement in midair suddenly speeds up, and because now you're, technically running in the air. So it definitely makes for some awkward moments, and it means that you can't stop, or you'll need to take time to accelerate again.
On a related note, cutscenes stop you And there is, in the second goal, in the first level, a section where there's 2 cutscenes right next to each other. And if you jump over the start of the trigger for the first one, you can land in a spot that is basically in a trigger for both of them, or very near to the second one, which means you're in your walk animation between them for a smaller time than if you had hit them where they meant for you to hit them. So you're running just like a half second longer.
Huh.
The task does that. That's something I picked up, so you'll see on my screen at least when we get there. I don't know if the other runners are doing that in their runs. But...
When you're throwing that bomb against the wall to blow it up, how close does it have to land? Does it have to be right up touching it?
1.5 bomb lengths away, roughly. Like, that much
Okay.
spacing is allowed.
Alright, so it's not super precise. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. Why am I failing this jump
Bomb
today?
deal, does the bomb deal damage to the player?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All bombs deal damage to players, including ones that are created via cutscene, which you'll see at the start of the second level in the second goal. Oh, really? So, there was an example of a bomb damaging a player in a horrible way. And the entire radius of the animation hurts you.
Alright, so we got 18 minutes left on the clock. So far, we got 2 players with runs. In Hagspam has got a run in just over 4 minutes. Free Ball's got a 3:27.
Wow. That's...
Yeah, I don't know if I can even beat that. I think that's where my PB was around.
We've had people beat their personal bests on the show plenty
Yeah,
of times
that
before.
happens. Yeah, that happens.
I hate it
So
when
these-
these drops are not in sync. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why.
So these end trails that you climb up, the controls are very finicky on them. If you're holding up at all, like if you're holding up and over, you don't jump off. You have to be holding strictly left or strictly right.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So you gotta
I
stop
mashed jump.
climbing.
I mash jump to get up quickly. I don't know what
Yeah.
you guys are doing.
Yeah,
you
that
can
makes sense.
you can jump off of it and re-grab it, and that's faster than just climbing. But it requires some input that it's a little uncomfortable to do.
Yeah. I was never able to master that, and I assumed it was a task thing. But apparently not.
I don't know if it's faster, but I'm just doing it.
It's faster, yeah.
Really? So these bombs are like they're random, and I guess on a global timer, which means that you don't even have a chance for them to like spawn in at some point. After.
Yeah, you just fall down and then there it is. Whoops.
Right.
Oh, I never mentioned that if you lose Peck, you can get him back from treasure chests.
Some of
And
them.
some of them. If you already have
Most of
him, they'll just be his stars or whatever, which are basically Mario coins. 100 gets you a life.
There's also the mirror ability, which I took like 3 days to find out.
The what ability?
Mirror, so you can hide for a couple seconds.
Yep.
Oh yeah, if you hold up.
I was trying like
That's-
all weird
that-
button combinations, and then I found out you just have to hold up like for 2 seconds.
No, and that brings up the point. That's probably what the intended route through those spikes are.
Oh,
yeah, probably.
Oh, that's true. I never thought of that.
Yeah. Speedrunners don't think of that because it's so slow to pull out that mirror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had the same thing with Darkwing Duck when, I think a lot of people didn't realize you can just hold up and he'll block things with his cape, but why would a speedrunner ever stop and block things?
Yeah.
I use it sometimes in Underground Passage for that one skeleton at the end. If I lose pack before that.
There's a couple of bosses too where I don't think they're featured in the goal really, or if they are, there's better ways to deal with them. But some of the patterns, you just really should just hide behind the thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what we're inside. We're inside some sort of creature, the entrails of something.
Yeah,
It's just
the
a big worm, I
previous
think.
level is like climbing up the inside of a tree after some, I believe it's like supposed to be a flying squirrel. That's the person you find at the bottom of the creature.
Yeah, you're looking for Don Jacoby or something?
No, Don Jacoby is is like your Deus Ex Machina friend.
Oh, okay, right. I see.
This I forget the name, but
It's
the
a kitty
the
cat
flying,
something.
No, it's a squirrel. And,
Oh yeah, flying squirrel. Right. Okay.
She's
yeah,
she's a fox.
she's
the
an enemy of sorts. And apparently in the Japanese version, when you find her, she's been dissolved into a pile of bones.
Huh.
Yeah.
Got there
that
too late.
censored. Oh, it was the task comments. That's what has name.
Oh my god. That was bad.
Yeah, but here she's just like a lifeless, unconscious body, which is better, I suppose. I don't know.
Catry.
Okay.
That's her name, even though she's a squirrel.
Catry the squirrel. I see.
But yeah, the way we get into this level is we get to the top of the tree and she jumps off of it with the emerald or gem, whatever it is. And then we both get eaten by like a giant worm.
I see. Inside a giant worm.
And if you watch the cutscenes, the big screen flashing at the end of that level is Don Jacoby, who you'll see in the second goal, cutting the creature open to let us out.
That's what that slash is at the end of this level. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
You also see him at the end of the pyramid when he holds up
Oh,
the thing
yes.
for you.
That's right.
Holding up.
Oh yeah,
the-
you think he'd be super dead after that?
But he's
Right.
Fun fact, you can stand there indefinitely and he will hold it.
That is a very fun fact. Thank you for telling me that.
Sure. That's the first thing I tried.
So this thing I'm reading says that Ardy is a cat, although, I get Ardy the Aardvark would be a perfect name for a character, but Ardy definitely doesn't look like an
Peck the
Aardvark.
Penguin. They're,
Peck the penguin.
there's definitely alliteration.
I don't think penguins peck things, though, do they? I mean, I know
No.
they're birds and they have beaks and all that, but I don't think of them as very pecky birds.
Ouch.
Nothing is what it seems in this game.
I thought that was the 4th level of Marble Madness.
Everything you know is wrong. What a horrible night to be inside a worm. Yeah, from what I can tell, this isn't like based on an anime or TV show or anything like that. It's just they just came up with these characters for the sake of the game, I guess. I'm not seeing any references to this thing being a spin-off of something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Huh. And apparently this wasn't popular enough to spawn any sequels or spin-offs to it.
Which is probably
Well,
what they were doing when they created all these characters.
It's
Yeah.
funny because at the very end of the game, the last thing it says is "to be continued." There's not even a question mark. It's just straight up "to be continued."
Alright, let's open a Kickstarter campaign for Ardy Lightfoot 2.
Who's got the rights?
No. ASCII Entertainment? Who the heck is ASCII Entertainment?
I don't know, but you might recognize the publisher is the same publisher of Superman for N64.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
boy.
Get over your mouse!
Ask Entertainment is a company linked to 34 games.
And Titus Software in the U.S. They were the... Well, I guess they maybe just localized it.
Looks like they're mostly Japanese based. Oh no way! There's this anime I like. There's a game for it. Do-ra-ra-ra, which is a dumb name, but it's an awesome anime.
All right, I screwed up that split, but there's a run.
Alright, we got a 426 coming in from BinaryDragon. Excellent. Got just under 10 minutes left on the clock. It's going to be one of those matches where everyone gets one run.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
is
so
it?
glad I got all 3 tricks in the pyramid. Like the throwing the stone onto the light without stopping.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And
Oh, nice.
then the quick kill on the genie thing, and then the mouse.
I like that skipping the downward elevator that Hagspam does there. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I
Ah,
tried
yeah.
that for a while.
Can you not do it in any of the other downward parts?
You can, but the other ones are harder just because the hitboxes are weird when you're going to the left.
Yeah, yeah. I see.
Yeah, a lot of these tricks are very risky. The quick kill on the genie, that's not risky. That's just whether you get it. But things like the placing the block
The little
down
block. Mm-hmm.
while you're running rather than stopping and turning around.
Huh.
That I found killed me like 1 out of 4 times.
I have a really good setup for that. There's a visual cue in the background where you have to throw it. But it only works if you intentionally jump into a block earlier than just running, because you won't have enough speed otherwise.
Hagspam just lost one because of not getting the block in the right spot, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying it for the first time.
Yeah, trying the running throw.
Never doing it again.
The genie boss is also just terrible. If you don't get the quick kill, he's just pure RNG as to whether he comes low enough.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea how to beat that.
It seems
feel
like
like
if you
we-
jump up near him, that triggers him to come down.
A little bit, but if you don't jump up near him, he'll stay up longer, but it's not manipulable. It's just like you're just affecting probabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he might also come down on the left and just say, fuck you.
Yep.
Right.
And even when he does come down, his hitbox is kind of weird, and sometimes the jump doesn't register. Like you start to do a pogo, and you just slide right off of him.
Nice even split.
Oh god. Missed the double jump. The pogo.
Oh, no. Pogoed.
So, something worth noting about the controls is that there are only 2 buttons.
Right.
So, we've discussed the jump and then like your spring jump, which is holding the jump button.
Mhm.
And then you also have your button that throws peck, or grabs an item, or pulls an item. Why did I jump there?
But there's basically like a jump and a grab. They're really the only controls.
Right. Except grab is not just grab, it's also attack.
Grab and throw. But your attack is to throw. So
Right.
it's sort of a grab.
I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, but this game definitely is focused on just platforming and puzzle solving and not so much on fighting enemies, really. I think maybe if this was not a speedrun, you'd probably do more. You'd probably kill more enemies. I mean, that's sort of true for all speedruns, but in this in particular, because it's, you know, sort of time-consuming to fight things. You just
Yeah,
don't
in
do
this
it at
goal,
all.
there's also just not very many enemies.
Right, I mean, you can kill the torch guys if you don't mind the screen going dark, but you know, there's not so many enemies that you can't just jump right over them and skip them.
There's an exception in the first level of the second goal. You have to kill some enemies, or it'll take forever.
Hmm.
Oh, the
I
guys
suppose
where you
we'll-
put the block on them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose we'll talk more when we get there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the worst.
Alright, we got a little under 4.5 minutes left on the clock.
Ever it was time for the run. This is it.
Yeah, now's the time for the run. So what's going to happen when the clock runs out is we'll go into sudden death mode. The players will be able to continue whatever run they're currently working on, but they will not be able to reset anymore. So they'll be stuck with whatever run they're on. As we get very close to the timer running out, I'll let the players know that this is their last chance to reset. Or more likely, I will look away and forget that I should be looking at the timer, and then 30 seconds later, I'll tell the players that.
And none of us will complain.
Right.
I always forget to smash start on those level transitions.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
What makes it hard is that it's not every level transition. Some of them have overworld cutscenes, and some of them do not.
Yeah, there's that overworld. But the game is linear, right? I believe you can only do the scenes
Yeah.
in a certain order.
That, yeah, they're numbered.
Right, they're numbered, and I think there's no other way to do it. But you know, I guess it makes the game seem bigger if there is like an overworld to place things into context.
You don't even get to move around on it. Only cutscenes
Right.
happen there.
Exactly.
But Ardy Lightfoot 2, you would absolutely be able to walk around on the overworld.
Right, that's it would have like a Super Mario World style overworld. You
Yeah.
could choose branching. Yeah. And we're gonna add
Player
some power
2
ups
could
to
be
it.
Jacoby or whatever.
Yep.
There are power-ups for Peck.
But maybe like we need a thing that Peck can throw. There needs to be like another guy that follows Peck, and you throw
Tap the
Peck.
button
And...
twice.
Right.
we can throw a Peck who has bees in his mouth, and when you throw him, he shoots the bees out of his mouth at your enemies.
Right, and the bees have little laser-mounted helmet, or like helmet-mounted lasers that like they can kill things with. So there'll be yet another level of attacks.
I like laser-mounted helmets better.
Laser-mounted helmets, yeah. Keep your helmets lined up with lasers.
I have no idea what happened to my splits. I did not get a -13 though, I promise.
Well,
Yeah, I saw that it flicked over while you were climbing the ropes.
Yeah, you can. You undid it. Cool.
And as someone mentioned before, there are power-ups for Peck. There's two. One, I believe there's two. One lets you pump him up and ride on him, and he floats. And it's necessary for getting through certain parts. But I think there are also other areas where it's sort of optional. And there's a spiky helmet that lets him break through rock walls, which we'll see in the other goal.
I swear that I remember seeing another power-up in one of the other goals when I was watching the run, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was, so could have been a fever dream. Oh, snake!
7 is killing me.
Well, what is this? You can get red Peck and press Y to inflate him, and then ride him across things. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the level right after the final level of the second goal.
Yep.
So we can show that off after the
All right.
after the race.
That's true.
Okay, well, we are hitting
Assuming any of us make it to the end of that level.
All right, so we've hit the end of the period. This is your last chance to reset. So please do so now if you'd like to. And the window of opportunity is closed. So now everyone, the run that they're doing, they're stuck with to take it out to completion. No more resets.
I messed up. This is not gonna be better.
Well, currently Freeball is sitting in first place, so the burden of getting a good run falls onto the other two, Hagspam and BinaryDragon. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I missed the genie quick kill, so
forget
this
that.
is pretty much over. Yeah, just completely over.
Let's try the mouse skid once more.
Still got to get if you can get sub 402. Nope, that's it.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, BinaryDragon is out. Freeball is bouncing around and having a good time.
Yeah, it looks like he missed the
Yep.
quick grab on the emerald.
Yep. So
There's a
let's-
small lag spike when the mouse spawns. It's pretty
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, that
That's-
happens every time.
You have
have
to
to delay
kind of
the
buffer
jump.
your jump of the last block so you can get it.
Very tricky. I was hoping someone would get it.
Well, I got it on my attempt, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Got a good run going from Hagspam here. He's currently in second place, so in order for this to make a difference, he would have to cut the 327. We'll have to see if that's possible.
Hello.
See, slipped off the genie. That's
Ooh.
what I was talking about.
Yep. Well played.
Oh, missed the gem.
Yeah, that genie boss is just. If you don't get the quick kill, it's
Yeah.
over.
All right. Well, there
I was
we
never
have it.
quite able to figure out how to get the quick kill consistently. Maybe Freeball can help us with that.
It's just the timing. I got a spot on the bottom where I always just run to, then jump, and then buffer my pogo in the bottom for like half a second. And it just works every time. And then when you're at the top, at the genie, I just spam jump. I find that works best for some reason.
All right. Well, looks like Freeball wins this one. Wins the first match. Hagspam coming in second, and BinaryDragon. Quite a bit of time separating the three players this time, but I guess with a goal this hard, that's what should be expected.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and I
basically,
think
got one good run.
Right.
I think you'll see that kind of separation in the second goal too.
I'm
The
thinking
game
so.
just asks for either you to perform really risky strats that save a lot of time, or go with something a little safer that is, that much slower. So I think it's going to really depend on the routes we all practice.
Yeah, generally the harder a game is, the more variation there is in time, because people are less concerned about, shaving off frames and more concerned about maybe using some safety strats here and things like that.
Living to the end.
Staying through the, getting through the goal, yes, is obviously a big concern.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the
well, in
mirror.
this game especially because of Peck, you have to protect your health more than a lot of other games.
Alright, well let's get set up for Aladdin. Aladdin is the second game of the day. The mystery game. The players were given Aladdin 60 minutes before the matches began, and they had an hour to work on this game. Here we see the overall progression of this episode. Aladdin is our second game, our second match out of 3. We'll be back to Ardy Lightfoot after this.
Oh god, I don't remember how to control this game at all anymore.
This is where I start losing.
It'll come back.
Yeah, it's always
After
tough. You
about 30
practice a
minutes?
game, and then you have to spend 30 minutes playing a completely different game, and then you jump back into this. But everyone's in the same boat as you.
Why doesn't Aladdin have a charged tail?
Why can't Aladdin crawl?
You know, as far as main and mystery games go, though, they're actually fairly similar. The way Aladdin jumps off of enemies and throw apples isn't too far off of Ardy.
That's true. Last time I tried to point out some small concession like that, the players got mad at me. I was like, well, Batman has a pause before he jumps, just like Darkwing Duck, and they were like, yeah, no. Totally different. Shut up. And I was like, okay.
Oh, you can duck. I never knew.
Okay, let me see. Looks like everyone's got it up. Got their thing up here. Are you guys ready to start this goal? I'm sure you'd like to practice more, but we gotta get moving.
I am ready.
That's one ready.
I'm ready.
I am reluctantly ready.
Alright, 2 readies and a reluctantly ready is good enough. Okay, I'm gonna count you guys down.